Sairam will start with 3 ohms and Sai Gayatri. Om. 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 Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Sathya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Sathya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Sathya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Sai Ram. Whether time being you can be on mute, Surya. Offering my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swami. I welcome you all for today's satsang. In the previous satsang, if you remember, if you have seen how yearning for God takes him to the greater heights than spending time with the God, than enjoying the physical proximity of God, yearning for God is more important. That's what we have seen, where Bhagawan has clearly told once while giving darshan in Kodai. He was holding hand of a student and he was giving darshans. And before others could comment or before others could murmur, Bhagavan started telling, see, this guy is holding my hand. Lucky fellow, right? You're all thinking that he's lucky, right? Then Bhagavan said, holding the hand is not important, but yearning to hold the hand is all that is important. But yearning takes the devotee or the person to much, much higher levels. Gopikas are remembered today not because Krishna spent time with them, because they yearned for Krishna. They finally merged in Krishna, yearning for him. Radha is remembered because for yearning for Krishna. Meera, who has not seen Krishna, yearned for him, and today she is remembered. Tyagaraja yearned for Rama. Hanuman yearned for Rama. Annamaya yearned for Venkateshwara. All these people may not have had physical proximity. No? Most of them were born. Meera was born in much later time. But the yearning made them what they are remembered for today. So today's speaker also did not have the physical proximity of Swami. But yearning for Swami, having coming into his fold and yearning for Swami, he started experiencing Swami in every other way. I request everyone to be on mute, please. Brother Suryadeep is from Kolkata. He pursued his dentistry from Oxford Dental College, Bangalore. And while studying, he came as a Sai youth to our Bangalore South. He joined the youth of our Bangalore South. And slowly he started coming for Bhajans, Seva, and others. Initially, he was reluctant to come for Seva. So slowly he'll reveal about it also shortly. And he's an avid reader, and he started studying Bhagwan's literature, read many Vahinis, and started experiencing Bhagwan in many aspects of his life. So Bhagwan blessed him not only to participate but speak about him, to share his joy with his fellow devotees and fellow participants in many programs like Sri Sathya Sai Samakos on Indian culture and spirituality, and Prerana, which was the youth program, youth meet, which has been organized in 2019 by youth of Bangalore South. He was the master of ceremonies for that, and currently he is also a participant of Satisfy National Leadership Program for this year 23 and 24. So let us listen more experiences from Brother Suryadeep and what actually inspires him. Having not seen Bhagwan, what is that inspires him to be anchored to Bhagwan always? So, Brother Suryadeep, my first question to you is: you haven't seen Bhagwan physically, but how did you come to know about Swami? How did you know, come into his fold? So let us please let's enlighten us more about that background.
Yes, yes. Sai Ram, first of all, good evening to everyone. Offering my salutations at his lotus feet, and I just want to confess that I'm just going to surrender and just be that sort of like that medium, that empty flute, and whatever he decides, that's all. So, with that, brother, it's very weird, I will say, because when I saw that, it was the year 2010. We had just shifted to this new flat out from the joint family, and from there I would see that every Tuesday mummy would drop me and my brother to the tuition, just crossing the road, and all. It was all pretty walkable there in Kolkata. Now, at times she would be late to receive us after the tuition got over. So once I realized that mummy was actually going to a mandir, and at times whenever we used to ask her that which mandir did you go and all, she would say that no, it's just bhajans. And that was the and she didn't really tell us what bhajan it actually was until 3 years later. So that was when we just asked, we persuaded her and kept asking her that, come on, please tell me. And then she's like, yeah, I'm going for Sai Bhajans. So what is Sai Bhajans? No, there's this Sathya Sai Baba, your grandmother used to believe, and we used to go for bhajans. But she did tell us about stories of her attending these bhajan sessions when she was a child. And we also had I remember I'd seen a Swami's photo, which was there under the bed, nicely covered, because no one in our family believed in Swami. So that's when mummy said that, I'm a Sai devotee, but when I got married, the your uncles and everyone threw his photo down and told that, wow, we don't believe in magicians in this house. So that was the first time when I got to know about Swami from mummy's mouth. And of course, all the stories, she did share a few stories and experiences. And 2013, 2014 was the first time when she took me and my brother to a Sai Samiti, which was again walkable distance from that new house where we were staying, for a bhajan. So that was the first experience. Sairam, brother, are you there?
Saira, yeah. Yeah, many of us say that what is there in a name, but Bhagwan says, just take a name and redeem your life. So I think Bhajans is the first thing you have experienced about Swami. So can you tell us more experiences related to Bhajans?
Yeah, so bhajans, it might sound very, very funny, but the very, very first session itself, I broke the principal code of conduct of the bhajans. And now, of course, Swami is here, he's listening. I have absolutely no shame to admit and confess in front of him that he witnessed me and my brother walking off. The bhajans were very boring, and I kept looking at mummy. She was, of course, immersed because she was the Prince Chief harmonium player. The person who was playing Kanjira was not at all in sync. And because mummy has been a classical trained singer, my dad has been a tabla player. So for us, it's like we grew up in music. So to witness that, oh my God, the bhajans going on, so many people are singing together off sync. How is that even possible? So we just listened. We waited till mummy's bhajan, me and my brother, and then we walked off. Now a few months later, what happened is, I mean, that I'm talking about August 2014. Now November 2014 on Swami's birthday, mm, on behalf of like our Samiti, what happened is they found out. I think that was, I'm not exactly sure whether it was, I think 80 something birthday it was. Yeah. So they they found some 83 homes. I think it was 83rd birthday itself. I mean, I'm just missing the calculation a little bit here. So they found that many homes of devotees where the youth team will go and perform bhajans. So our house also, mummy wanted to invite everyone to come to our house and perform bhajans. And that was a 1 hour bhajan session that happened. That was the first time when I actually felt good. Oh my God, yeah, I mean, this is fun. Okay, so that means the youth can actually play proper kanjira. It was all high power, high paced bhajans and all. And it was enjoying because while in the bhajan room, I mean, I didn't sit in the bhajan room, but me and my brother, we were literally like dancing, especially that Nama Parvati Pataye Hare. So we were dancing, me and my brother, all different steps. That's when we slowly started getting that little bit of a envy and jealousy that, okay, right now these brothers and sisters are singing beautiful bhajans, and me and my brother, we have a pretty good voice. So why not impress people? And then now I realize that, okay, now it's already, I mean, it's 2023, so almost going to be 10 years. So now the realization is that it was not just to impress the people. It is actually it's actually to impress Swami, and through his happiness, the devotees who are feeling the joy. So it's more like being that medium. So that was how the whole, and that's when, I mean, that December we went to Parthi for the first time, and there, of course, we experienced those beautiful Parthi bhajans. I fell in love completely, and that's when this obsession came in that, okay, come on, I mean, any new bhajan comes out, I just want to sing, not to really impress anyone, although I did try to numerous times, only to realize that it's complicated. Just focus on impressing Swami, that's all. So that was the first, the bhajan is what actually got me into the fold. Yeah.
How did you, accept Swami? See, coming into Swami's fold, knowing him is one thing, but we'll have a lot of doubts, right? Because a newcomer will always have many doubts. So how you could accept him slowly?
To be very honest, I didn't. And even to this day, there are moments when I don't. I have this, no, I look at him more of as a friend more than as a god. I think uh, growing up in childhood, we were always told that you have to be scared of God. You have to bow down, follow all the rituals, do namaskaram and all those things. I never connected to the whole process. It turned out to be way too hypocritical for me. Even in here, people were like, come on, oh, wow, Swami, oh, Swami's photos everywhere. When we went to Patti in December 2014, the first time ever, everybody's doing Seva, Arati and all. Come on, seriously, how can you worship a human being? In that case, worship me. I'm also equivalent to God itself. But then Patti was actually the eye opener. Those humongous, decorated monasteries, literally, of the institutions of divinity, hospitals for free, education for free, water for free. You have this planetarium for free, museums for free. And in Kolkata, we used to pay the 200 to 50 rupees for just for just a 15-minute show of the planetarium. Here we can go every single day and attend a show absolutely for free. That is what sparked that kind of a thing. I mean, it's not possible to be done by a normal human being. So I was growing up, I've always had this habit that I've never really believed that you can look at someone and, I mean, feel that they are not, I mean, God and all those things. Chaitanya Jyoti is when I went for the first time, and I immersed myself completely. And in Chaitanya Jyoti, there was this, that time there was this gallery show that used to go on. In that gallery show, what would happen is, okay, just one moment. Okay, yeah, I hope the sound is a little better now. Yeah. So in the gallery show, what would happen is Swami's videos would be played. So then what happened is I went there and I sat, and I remember I watched the entire gallery show, Swami walking, Swami distributing prasadam and everything. And I started crying. I had skipped duty, I remember. I did not like doing the South Canteen duty, just distributing food, carrying those heavy buckets and everything. So I went there, and afternoon I went there, and it was around like a 45 minutes of show. So I came back, and that night I slept. I don't remember how long I slept. I don't remember anything. The next morning I woke up, I felt this humongous sense of peace. And that's when I accepted that, yeah, it's not possible to be done by any mere mortal. And I was actually feeling a little guilty also in the morning, because just a few hours prior, I pointed at his photo in that South Canteen. That was day 3 of our seva, and I was just cursing and swearing as much as possible. Who are you? Whom do you think you are? Do you really think you got me here? I came here because I wanted to come here. But then again, the next morning, it was that realization that man is simply like an instrument, like a puppet. Only when God wants, only then I think if everything is it makes sense. And I think that was the time when I really accepted him.
Beautiful, brother. One thing is, you have oftentimes, I think when we spoke, you oftentimes told that reading Sai literature literally uh, make you convert many breakdowns into breakthroughs. So, can you enlighten us more about it? How did it affect your life? Because falling into love of Sai literature is not easy. There are many things that are esoteric to understand. How did it start? Where did it start with? And what are the changes or the transformation that you have observed in yourself after you started reading and applying what you have read in your life?
No, for this I have to give credit again to you, brother, because I remember the interactions that we used to have, weekends, coming over, instead of staying in the hostel and going through the whole torture. The first 6 months was very, very hard in the hostel. First 6 months to 1 year, when I would see that everybody's drunk in the hostel, nobody's doing anything. It was a horrible feeling. Now, from that moment when I felt that realization, okay, fine, Swami is God, but then I need to know. And that's when because of those discussions that we've had, I felt that, okay, fine, in order to know Swami, I need to start reading about Swami. So I just went down and I started reading first the Sathya Sai Speaks, and then the Summer Showers. But the true essence of his teachings, I feel that I was able to understand when I started not just reading, but actually contemplating on it. And in one of the Narayan Seva sessions, you had beautifully narrated about that 3R principle: read, reflect, regularly apply. So it was more of not just immersing myself, but observing that how is this relevant to me? What's in it for me? Now, that, like you mentioned, esoteric terms and the way difficult concepts were discussed. For me, it was more of diving deeper into those esoteric concepts. When Swami spoke about those 4 phases in Prashnottara Vahini, let's just say the phase of the 4 phases of livelihood. Again, it begins with that brahmacharya, goes all the way to sannyasa and all. And I used to think, okay, fine, why is it even necessary to get into that stage 2 of having a family, when eventually you are going to go to vanaprastha followed by this thing? So what would happen is, there was this very interesting dialogue that I always used to have with Swami while reading itself, and the questions would be very, very genuine, practical questions which nobody wants to answer. Like, why should I believe in God in the first place? Why should I even worship Swami in the first place when I'm having a beautiful relationship with him? So all these question and answers, you can say that I was having a proper, detailed uh, conversation within a conversation through the Vahinis. Every question answer, every statement, even the stories, the Bhagavad Vahini, the Ramagatha Rasa Vahini, I would read Sukha's story or Arjuna's conversation, Yudhishthira's conversation with Krishna, and I would immediately ask Swami, Swami, what's the meaning? Why did you even write this? Why are you making me read this? What's in it for me? And that's one of the greatest breakthroughs, I would say, that questions are the answers. That's what Swami has taught me. Only when we are asking questions, he's internally having that dialogue with us. So the moment I would ask, why am I reading this? Immediately an answer would pop up in the form of a whisper, very silent whisper, that focus on how is this relevant for you. And immediately that answer would trigger, okay, fine, okay, now this is mean, maybe Arjuna is speaking, Arjuna went away to Krishna, and Yudhishthira is speaking with those astrologers and stuff. The surrender, the process of surrender, the process of understanding, not being consumed by grief or the situations that is happening all around, rather looking at the situations as stepping stones towards our spiritual growth. It's like when I look at the hostel, it was really volcano fire. People are drinking, people are consuming drugs, heroin, whatnot. But again, that example of the lotus comes into the picture, being in the mud and yet blooming. In order to bloom, you have to be in the mud. So these wonderful, literally these metaphors of life is what Swami would make me feel through the Vahinis, through these extreme and deep contemplations. And mind you, brother, all these things are happening in silence. Of course, when we used to discuss, you and I, it would make a lot more sense later as well. Yeah.
And what is the joy that you experienced while you started applying them? You even used to say that no something no like you should love all and serve all or no make someone happy. So you even used to tell that no, you used to invite those housekeeping women and used to serve something. So such kind of experiences I would like to hear more.
Yeah, this is very interesting, brother, and thank you so much for bringing this up. It's like I developed this habit of deliberate gratification. Deliberate gratification of doing very, very simple things. It's called RAK, random acts of kindness. And this random acts of kindness again is one of those interesting conversations that Swami mentioned in his first Vahini, Prema Vahini, where Swami is talking about the importance of just feeling good. Just feeling good. So what would happen is I can sit down and probably I can think of, oh my God, the professor has screamed at me, the seniors have ragged me, the my roommates are playing loud music. But instead of that, I can think all of this because it's all happened with me. But what I can do is I can actually sit down and feel good that, oh my God, I mean, they are forcing me not to sleep so that weekends I can go out and I can actually participate in all the Seva activities. So this whole process of deliberate gratification is what would make me realize that I'm going through so much of troubles in spite of my dad paying so much of money and getting me into this college. How horrible might those security guards feel, or those sweeper aunties will feel, especially when the lifts are not working. They're probably 50 plus years. They have to climb all the way till seventh floor in order to just come and clean the rooms. This the person would, he had polio in his hand, and still he would completely make all the common washrooms, clean it absolutely as if it is new. I would never pay any money, but I would bring them to my room. I would make them sit. I would make them these delicious herbal tea or the Maggie. Whenever I'm walking down from the college all the way to the hostel, there was this one. Uh, his name was Raman sir. I would always address everyone as sir and ma'am, because anyways I'm addressing my seniors as sir and ma'am. I don't even want to, but these are the good people. Why shouldn't I? So I would just give him a hug. I would ask him, sir, come on, can I give you a hug? And he would be like, what are you doing? I said, come on. And what I observed was that these little random acts of kindness would make me feel better. And it's like I'm going through a lot of trouble. That's okay, fine, it's for a purpose. But I am being a source of all the feelings for others, those who deserve it the most, the exact opposite feelings of what I was going through. And that's when, again, the whole concepts of Prema Vahini made so much of sense, that you can go through bad stuff. Everyone goes through bad stuff. But if you just be a source of what you want to be happy, good, go and spread happiness. A smile costs nothing, a hug costs nothing, a good handshake costs nothing. It costs absolutely nothing to walk up to someone and tell them, listen, you're so beautiful, and just looking at you made my day. So these little things I would go on practicing, and that would eventually make me feel very, very good. On the worst days, let's just say a day I got blasted by the professor, I would actually sit down with the attendant of our dental clinic there in the department, and I would just talk. How is your family? How's everything going? And all. I would share my lunch and all with them, so it would feel really amazing, brother. Yeah.
So initially, actually, when I asked you to come for Seva, you were very reluctant. But slowly you yourself came and started experiencing the joy of Seva. So why were you reluctant to come to Seva? What was that point in your life that provoked you or that triggered you to come to Seva? And what is the joy that you've experienced in Seva? And after that, I would even ask what you would like to say your fellow youth, fellow brothers, why Seva is important in one's life. What is it that is, it is going to fill in our life? So kindly more enlighten us about
Yes, brother. The first of all, I will tell you, I hated Seva. Hated Seva as in when I was in Kolkata. We were told to go to these medical colleges and clean, sweep and clean, sweep and clean the schools. And they would, I mean, our convener uncles would always spiritualize everything, that if you are cleaning the dirt, you are cleaning yourself. Really? I'm coming home dirty. How am I cleaning myself? Now, spiritualizing everything didn't really make any sense. And I thought when you asked me, brother, why don't you come for seva? I thought exactly the same is going to happen. If you remember correctly, brother, I was attending these bhajan sessions with you, right? We were going to all these places and all. That was so much of fun. Until that point when you said that, yeah, just come over for Narayan Seva. Now, I feel personally, brother, that all of us are practice seva in some way or the other. When our dad comes from work, whether we like it or not, we are conditioned in such a way that we're going to go and give him a glass of water, which is seva. And you're serving the one who has given birth to you. Imagine how pure and how sacred that seva is. The only problem that happens is, as a youth, I want a purpose to do seva. I want to know what's in it for me. Don't try to give me any spiritual gyans. It's not going to make any sense. So the day I came for Narayan Seva for the first time, I'm sure you remember it. I was very, very hesitant. I was very, very reluctant. And that day I remember I did absolutely nothing. Just just packing, just putting those wrappers. But the beauty was, I was enjoying that little act. And that very first day, I still remember Ravi Kishore brother was there, and Anand brother and Raghu brother was always full on energy and everything. And that day, they made me give all those. You made me give all those packets to all those old people. And I'll tell you, that very act of not doing anything, yet getting this opportunity to put the scarf patch and give the packet which has been packed by someone else, cooked by someone else, and receiving the blessings of the Narayanas. That's when I started asking myself, seriously, what am I doing? I should actually do more. And that is exactly what the youth of today want, brother. They want to feel valued, they want to feel loved, they want to feel encouraged and appreciated, because all throughout school, college, workplace, they're never appreciated enough. They're like, give me more, get more marks, get more ranks, get higher, do more in your job, and all those things. So it's all the frustration, until that point when you realize that this is the part of seva that you love. And when you do it, you feel alive for that brief moment. And when you feel alive in that brief moment, that's when actually the connection happens. I remember in one I couldn't come to Narayan Seva because of my exams and stuff. And after a long time, I came for Seva, and I just stood in front of Swami and the chair, and I just started crying. And I realized people didn't stop. People didn't ask me what was going on. After I finished crying, Sridhar sir came up and gave me a hug. Subbu sir came up and gave me a hug. Anand brother gave me a big hug. You gave me a big hug. And that's what happens when you do seva. The you feel the importance of being a part of a system, a part of a wheel, a part of that divine mission, and you feel the importance of being a very, 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 very minuscule, significant part of it that eventually gives you that peace, that happiness, that the purpose of why you are born in the first place. And that has to be the reason why every youth should definitely take up seva. I won't say that take all forms of seva. Find exactly what suits you and give everything in it, because any form of seva is Swami's work.
So you normally had a lot of doubts and a lot of questions with Swami, and I think you had various, no, occasions how Swami had answered those questions quite effectively. Even right when you went to Parthi, also you had a lot of questions. And so tell us more about your journey, how those doubts were being clarified in this journey with Sai. Because as a
So
youth,
I
we have a
always,
lot of
yes, yes,
questions.
yeah. So I always believe that, there are two layers to spirituality. One is when you are reading a lot of books, you are practicing everything, you are going for Narayan Seva, the Nagar Sankirtan, and it's a part of your routine. And while it is amazing to have that kind of a life, somehow I personally did not relate to it. And I told Swami clearly, listen, if you are expecting me to follow the 9-point code of conduct, forget it. I will not. I will love you the way I want to love you. Simple as that. You are my friend first, and then Guru when I'm facing a problem. So I had that proper conversation with Swami, keeping his photo in front of me. I always have this habit. Whenever I'm in trouble, whenever I want to feel like I'm lonely, I want to talk to someone, I'll keep the photo in front of me, just my phone wallpaper, and I'll just talk to him, whatever it is that I want. And surprisingly, he would always accept every single thing that I would say. He would tell me, like, I would get these whispers again. And I'm telling everyone here, all the listeners, please try it out. Keep a photo in front of you and just be yourself. So the first layer of spirituality is following spirituality as a routine, which turns into a ritual. Now, with this, what happens is you feel that you are enlightened. You feel that you are very spiritual. You feel that you're in the path of goodness. But what if inside you have all these problems? Like, oh my God, I'm doing so many prayers, but no one around me is doing any prayers and all that. So that state of hypocrisy comes into the picture. What I followed is I followed the principle of unity in thought, word, and deed, which I feel is the deeper layer of spirituality, where you are questioning every single thing, and until and unless you are getting that clarity, you are not accepting it. So what I will do is I will question Swami everything. I will question Swami, why is it that my I'm talking to you, I'm worshiping you, I'm singing bhajans, yet why is there so much of problem in my relationship? I mean, back then in my college, I had a relationship. So why is there problems in my relationship? Why aren't you solving it? And what would happen is, because I did not saw Swami in his physical form, and to be very honest, I right now at this point of time, I feel grateful that I did not see him in his physical form, because had I seen him, I would be so attached to his physical form that I would not be able to connect with him at this depth, what I'm able to right now. I know Swami will answer me through by visiting my dreams, which he has only once so far. I know he will answer me through any of these seva, Narayan Seva and all that. And I realized that the burning problem that I would bring to him every week in that Narayan Seva, in the form of silence, I would just speak to him in thoughts. Either, brother, you will share some anecdote which will come up with that answer. I know numerous times after the Narayan Seva got over and we came back to your house, I remember we had this discussion so many times. Brother, I mean, did you plan? sharing whatever you shared, because I was going through this problem when you actually solved it. So either someone will share an anecdote and that gets solved, or I will just bump into a stranger and they will just tell me these few words and that will get solved. Or what would happen is, maybe I'm walking down the road, somebody's talking to someone on the phone, and just being aware, they're like screaming that do the work. Maybe someone is telling, maybe a colleague is telling to the other person, and that would immediately strike me. Okay, fine, now I need to do the work. So it became very, very intuitive, and mostly the awareness, I would say. So Swami has always connected with me in that level. The best, I'll tell you, the most unique thing was this NLP program itself. This is the fourth year when I attempted the NLP, and this time I just told him that, listen, Swami, both you and I know probably you are not going to select me, but that's okay. Whether you select me, you don't, it's up to you. I'm just applying because I want to take every opportunity to come near you. And that's the beauty, right? He tests your patience so much. Not only did he get me into the NLP, in that induction session, I got the opportunity to go and walk up to the same stage where he spoke for years after years after years, 3 times on a single day, putting up the Jyoti. So the thing is, all we have to do is just ask, keeping all our filters, beliefs, and every single thing aside, just asking him exactly what it is and have that intimate conversation. At times, I use it to my perfection also. I'll talk to my mom and I'll tell him, Mummy, I have spoken to Swami. Swami has told me, enjoy your life. Mummy, please don't tell me anything. Probably she's trying to spiritualize something. So I'll use Swami's. It's not actually using him as an advantage. It's the truth. When I ask Swami, Swami, am I in the right path? He tells me, yes, you are. As a dentist, I'm expected to have a clinic and run those clinics or do a master degree and all. But right now I'm in health and wellness, emotional well-being and stuff, communication training and all. And he tells me you are in the right path and I'm guiding you to in the right path. So it becomes so easy to have that intimacy with him. I hope I answered that question, brother.
So you had many tough times, no, being faced the mental breakdowns, or no. So how being in Swami's fold had helped you to come out of those frustrations and sail through those kind of situations? Because a lot of things you have been discussing with me. So how you could cope up with the situations and derive strength from spirituality?
I would I wouldn't really think that it's strength from spirituality, brother. I mean, Dr. Anil Kumar sir has he's written an entire book on this called psychology, SAI ecology. True to the principles and stories, anecdotes shared in the book, it's true that Swami is the true psychologist. Now, all the way until 2016 is when I realized that I have been a very, very severe case of ADHD, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, chronic depression. I tried committing suicide thrice by the time I was 21 or 22. What I would do is, I would always have a place, a sacred space to cry out. All the problems that are going on, I would just cry it out to him. How? Again, keeping his photo, and I would blame him for everything. Every every bad thing that is happening with me, every trouble that I'm going through, every situation that I'm in, I would blame him. And I would realize that exactly the max that it took was 7 days for the whole thing to get solved. 7 days, that's all. Within 7 days, the problem would get solved. And I realized that we have someone. I mean, let me not address him as God. I mean, for me, he's my friend. I have a friend to whom I can say literally anything that I want. I can blame him for everything that I'm going through. He's not going to chide me. He's not going to judge me. He's not going to blame me. He's not going to tell me that, oh, you're blaming me, I'll punish you and all. He's just going to take everything and solve it. So that's when, I mean, over the years, even to this date, I'll tell you, just 24 hours back, I had a fight with him. Swami, what is this? Is this a joke? 7:30, there is an NLP session, and right now you want me to speak in the satsang also? And then immediately I get this whisper, hey, come on. It's Satsangatve Nitsangatvam session, in which there is a speaker who is going to speak. You can turn on your video and peacefully keep your video there so that people can see you. But this is important because I'm giving you an opportunity to share. So what would happen is even these weird, crazy ideas also were given by him. And I want to portray this out here in front of everyone, that when we really have that yearning, as you rightly mentioned, brother, to accept him exactly the way we want to accept him. My college, my roommate was doing cocaine. He was doing hookah party. Loud music going on till 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm getting ragged at till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the night. And Swami was there who provoked me to cry. Swami was there who pushed me to speak up. Swami was there to tell me that Saturdays and Sundays don't be here. I've sent you a messenger, an angel in the form of Suman brother, whose house you can go and you can enjoy. Have the beautiful conversations about me. It's miraculous how Swami fixes everything in ways that you cannot even imagine. It's beyond our imagination. So my funda is very simple, boss. I have a very dear friend, and that friend solves everything for me. I will blame him for everything. It makes me feel so better. And I would highly recommend that and suggest that all of us to try it out, see how it works. Hope that answers the question, brother.
Thank you. See, many youth today have distanced themselves from the very term spirituality. They're intimidated basically, maybe thanks to some kind of ignorant minds or ritualistic, people or a fanatic people or whoever. So to such youth, so how you're going to explain to them what is spirituality and how would you help them, because they're know too much immersed in this worldly pleasures or not knowing, having lost in the way, as you told, they're taking extreme steps of even taking their own lives. So to such youth, how you're going to explain what is spirituality, how you're going to explain this dimension which is there within them?
I think the only question that I always ask anyone I meet, brother, is, are you happy? Whatever it is that you are doing, are you happy? And this one question itself actually triggers a response. I'll just take this very interesting example now that you asked this, brother. I'm just reminded of it immediately. So there was this, I told about this roommate itself, right, in first year. And he was into cocaine, drinking, smoking, whatnot. Now, I came to Parthi the first time in December 2014, and after that, when we came back, like it was December. So when we came back, I was actively participating in the Seva activities. Started a spoken English batch, quiz sessions, the free tuition sessions for all the students and all. But when I got a chance to study in Bangalore, it was August 2015. I remember very clearly that I was I didn't know which Samiti to go. So around almost 6 months, that like August, June till December, all the way till December December 2015. I didn't go. I didn't attend any Samiti. Nothing I did. What happened was, that year that I realized that in order to learn about I mean, get to know about Swami, I first need to go to Parthi. That has to be the main objective. So December 2015, I went to Parthi just to inquire that where is a Samiti nearby. So my roommate, he said that, Suryadeep, where are you going? So I said that I'm going for this one. He's like, can I also accompany you? I said, yeah, fine. Why not? And he came with me. He was there in Parthi for almost, we were there for almost, I think, a week. And he enjoyed all the bhajans and everything. And then while we were coming back, he told me that, is this what happiness feels like? I said, yeah. Now, now it's a different thing that he didn't stay in the fold as such. He again got caught up. I mean, life happens, however it is. But that's when I realized for the first time in my life that you see, for youth, it's all about not just feeling, but it's not just about feeling the happiness, but also finding a purpose to it. So that's why my two questions is: are you happy? And they'll tell me either a yes or a no. What makes you happy? And then they'll tell me something. Okay, fine. If you are doing that forever, will it still continue to make you happy? Now, these are the common questions that I feel all of us needs to ask ourselves, particularly the youth. Because what I have realized is if any youth decides no, that they're going to do something, nobody can come and stop them. They go to the extremes. I've seen it in college. It all starts with one puff, and then they become a chain smoker and they think it's cool. It all starts with that one sniff, and then they're addicted to cocaine for life. The same way, they come for one Narayan Seva, and now they are an NLP participant. So it's all pretty extremes for the youth. At the end of the day, it all boils down to are we really happy? And what is the purpose of happiness? In this, I'll also add one more thing, brother, that is the importance of community, the importance of having people, the right people around. I mean, very honestly speaking, I don't like the Samiti members in Kolkata. In Bangalore also, most of the Samiti members, I'm not a very big fan of. But our Narayan Seva team, oh my God, I love them to the core. They love me to the core. I have you, so I can always discuss whatever it is that I want with you. So it's all, again, it depends on that close inner circle that we have. So I feel these three things: are you happy? What is the purpose of your happiness? Why do you want to be happy in the first place? Where do you find your happiness, and is it eternal? And who are those people that you're surrounded with? Are you able to resonate with them? If when all these three things are in place, I'm sure the youth are definitely going to get into the whole concepts of spirituality. And again, one last thing just to add on, brother, that spirituality is individualized. I don't think anyone in this world can say that two souls traveling in the same planet and everything will have the same spiritual path. You have to customize it. You have to individualize it. If you like Suprabhatam, good. Get up in the morning, do it. If you like Rudram, good. Get up in the morning and practice it. If you like bhajans, good. Go and start attending bhajans. If you don't like any of it, you just like to sit down and stay silent, good. Practice that over and over again. Find out what works for you. If it makes you happy, if it's eternal, and if it's connecting you with the right people around, that's it. Continue with it.
How did you find out what was right for you and how it happened to you?
So for me, again, the questions that I had is, what are my hobbies? So I realized that I love singing. I love being appreciated. I love feeling loved. I love doing things that makes me stand out. I love receiving a round of applause. I love feeling surrounded with people who celebrate me. And when this happened, I mean, when this happened, it's quite evident that all of those things I was able to find in in here in the organization itself. And that is again the fundamental thing, brother, that we need to first know what we want, what we are looking for. Am I attending a Narayan Seva just because someone has told me to attend Narayan Seva, or it's good for me and all? Or I want to attend Narayan Seva because I want to learn something. So I want to explore new things. And just like every youth, right? I mean, nobody in this world is born with this intention that they're going to smoke, drink, get addicted to cocaine, stay up late nights and all. No one. We are conditioned to it. We think that it's going to give us happiness. The same way I also got conditioned into this whole joy of singing bhajans, the joy of doing Narayan Seva, meeting. I mean, I remember every the Narayan Seva days, I'd come and I would ask Sridhar sir, how are you? And sir would be like, oh, Swami's grace. That's all. And I would ask him the same questions over and over again. There would be this running race competition that we would have, like who is going to carry the more cartons and put it up before we stuff it into the car and all. So I'll tell you, that's the joy. That's what I love. I love being playful. I love being a small little child. I love to live my childhood all over again. And Swami's and spirituality is allowing me to do that. Swami's fold is allowing me to do that. There are numerous times when out there in the world, in my corporates, and I'll tell you, yeah, very interesting, brother. When I was in school or college, people will tell me, Suryadeep, you need to grow up. Suryadeep, you need to become serious. After coming in Swami's fold, people ask me the opposite. How are you so playful, even though you're 26 years old? And I tell people I am not 26 years old. I feel like I'm 4 years old, and people celebrate me for that. So it's inevitable, brother. When I knew what I want and I asked Swami for it, Swami gave me that. That turned out to be a positive spiral.
Beautiful, beautiful. So often, even we get drifted away because of many things in the world, many colorful pursuits, attractive or distractive, whatever you say. So we just get drifted away, little deflected from the regular path. Quite aberrations will be there, distractions will be there. So how to get back again? So what can make us to get back to the normal path, especially from when you're little, you forget Swami sometimes, completely. Maybe with our own minds, which are or the kind of very colorful and attractive things around. Sometimes we forget. I think that Maya again he only creates. So how to get back to that again, and what is the effort we have to do for that?
I mean, this is the one question that I was hoping that you will not ask, because again, this is going to bring another confession. Before I answer this question, brother, I'd like to actually give a little bit of a highlight of what exactly happened between the 2020 to 2021, like 2 years, proper 2 years. So 2020 COVID happened and everything became online. I went home and somehow I honestly I don't connect much with the whole process of online. I mean, physically when we are all there with each other, that is a different experience altogether. So I stopped. Suman brother did tell me that we start attending the virtual satsangs we are starting and all. I ignored him completely. I did not even participate the bhajan sessions that was happening in our house every Monday. I just told Swami, nah, maza nahi aa raha hai, not feeling that good. I'll come back when I have to. So I got caught up with getting preparing for my entrance exams. And then 2020, I graduated, came back home. Again, COVID was still there. So the Samiti activities, Narayan Seva and all didn't happen. So 2020, it was all complete lockdown and stuff. 2021, I came back to Kolkata. There also, I just started telling Swami, I've done so much for you. I went for all these weekends. Can't you give me a job? What kind of a Swami are you? So I got angry and I told him, listen, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just not going to do anything. And Swami was like, fine, you do whatever you want to. And that's the beauty about Swami. When you converse with him, he's okay with whatever you decide. He's absolutely okay with whatever you decide. So he made me wait all the way till 2022 November, accepting me for the NLP. I went to Parthi, and this time I went to Parthi for after like 3 years. The last time I went to Parthi was with Suman brother back in 2020 Shivaratri. It was 14th of February. I'll never forget that date because just after that lockdown happened. 3 years after 3 years going to Parthi. And this time, for the first time, I went to Parthi and I didn't cry at all. I just didn't cry at all. I didn't have anything to cry about. I just told Swami that how loving you can be. Someone who completely was in your fold, you brought him into your fold. he consciously decided to keep you away from him, and you still accept him as your NLP student, give him an opportunity to experience a proximity. I mean, how loving can God be? So, in order to come back, I feel we all need to ask ourselves, whatever it is that we are doing in our life, if we want more money, if we are looking for a corporate, whatever, what is that called, promotions, uh, getting popular, name, fame, and stuff. I did get a lot of fame in these 3 years when I did not go to Patti. I became a TEDx speaker. I earned pretty good amount of money. I started sending money home. I made, yeah, bucket loads of money, lost it all as well, learned so many new things. But the real joy is right now when I'm sitting here and I'm just being an instrument and observing Swami speaking through me and sweating, feeling this perspiration, feeling the nervousness, anxiety. This is giving me the real joy. So, as a youth, we always have to ask ourselves every single day, every single moment, am I really happy? And even if that includes going to bhajan week in and week out, Vedam week in and week out, is that giving me happiness? So you are right, brother. He creates the Maya. He creates that whole uh, a zone, a scene where he's putting you out. He's taking you out from him, and then bringing you back again, replenished, refurbished, recharged, and only then you understand him more, you connect with him more, you're able to serve more, you're able to give more. And it's a cycle, and it's okay to have a cycle. But to answer your question again, brother, it's important to ask ourselves every single moment, am I truly happy?
Beautiful. Swami blessed you with many opportunities to participate in wonderful programs of the organization, whether it is Prerana or whether it is, I think, summer course in 2019, even now the National Leadership Program NLP. What are your experiences when you met people there from different, walks of life and different areas of, I think, the country, different parts of the country? So, what is the joy that you have derived, and what are the learnings from all these programs that you have? If you remember, I think you have amazing memory. So I want to
Ah,
listen in detail, actually.
yes, brother, sure. So uh, I'll go in proper sequence, and it becomes a little easy to break down as well. So the first experience was actually doing Arati in Prashanti Nilayam in that South Indian canteen. At that time, I just felt that even if someone whom I didn't even believe in, I mean, I was an atheist, I cursed and sweared at him so much, yet I got an opportunity to do Arati. Interesting. Interesting. And that made me realize how important is his love for us. And then I always love breaking records, creating records, breaking records. Now, no one in our from our family or from our samiti, from our district, had had the opportunity to actually participate in seva opportunities in other any other samiti as such. I was the first to come down to Bangalore and got an opportunity to participate in the Narayan Seva, those study circles and all. The day we went to Ramesh Hall, brother, in Whitefield for that bhajan, and I sang that Madhusudana He Muralidhara. Wow. And that was a goosebump. My God. And I told and flaunted to Mummy, see, Dida, as in grandmother, Dida was a devotee for 69 years until she passed away with cancer. Her soul is merged in Swami now. Dida was such a big fan of Swami, devotee of Swami, she could never sing in front of Swami. You are such a beautiful singer, 25 plus years, and you couldn't go and sing in front of Swami. Look at me, mommy. And that is so surprising that the punyas, the blessings of all of generations came to me as a gift. Now I do love to play around and flaunt around and pride about. But of course, it's a matter of pride. But the beauty is, I would feel so happy that my God, a God whom all you have to do is just love will give you so many blessings. And then, of course, that Brindavan Bhajan group 50 years celebration, my God, taking all those photographs and getting to serve the legends of the organization over the years, Ravi Raj Nasre sir, Nani Datta sir. I mean, I'm particularly a big fan of both of them because I'm still in touch with them. They still remember me, and it's such a beautiful thing that such legends, and they still are so humble. And now there, doing the seva, I remember, brother, at times you were telling me, haha, go, come on, this particular room, we have to deliver some bottles, deliver some food. But I was sneaking out and sitting there in the hall, participating in the program. Now, these opportunities, the freedom to be naughty, the freedom to enjoy exactly however I want. And I'm so grateful to you that you did scold me once or twice, but that was for my good. But you never reprimanded me for that yearning that I had to be closer to him, to experience his proximity. I think the two biggest highlights will definitely be Prerana and the getting the opportunity to speak in the summer course of Indian culture and spirituality. I knew I can speak well. I knew I can craft stories and make people realize as if the stories are happening in the form of a movie right in front of their eyes through my voice. But there's a difference between you feeling that you can do it and actually doing it in the first place. 16th April 2019, my God, standing there in the uh, in that auditorium in Whitefield, my God, as I'm walking up, I'm having these nerves. When I stood there, I had that book in front of me. I promise you, brother, I forgot everything. I'm sure you, for those of you who don't know, my handwriting is very good. Okay, I have the perfect doctor's handwriting. You take an ant, dip it in ink, put it on white paper. The movement of the ant is my handwriting. That's how I had written the speech. And for the first time in my life, I couldn't read my own handwriting. All the legends of the industry, including the ex Supreme, the chief judge of the Supreme Court was there. And I stood there frozen for the first couple of seconds until the point when I realized that he took control. And that was my first ever speech. When I came down, the applause was next level. In Prerana, when I got to speak, my God, so many mistakes. My phone was not working. I had written down every time I'm standing there in the podium, it's getting switched off. So I literally have to create whatever I want to speak. And I did not want to actually read it. I just wanted to make it very, very spontaneous and all. Again, a mistake that you cannot be overconfident and all. I remember I made Suman brother the district president so many times in that event. But the beauty is, you see, Swami accepts everything exactly how I was, how I have been. And this little thing is what makes me come to him over and over and over and over and over again. And every time he gives me these kind of opportunities, and every single time I'm able to feel that every opportunity he gives me, I'm grabbing it, is actually putting me closer to him. And everything that I'm doing in the materialistic world is actually a dedication and offering at his divine lotus feet. The path being made by him, the skills are given by him, the gifts, the stones are being cleared off by him. And I'm just being that little child who is being loved by his mother. So that, I think, summarizes pretty much the experiences that I've had so far with it.
So recently, you've been part of National Leadership Program. Can you more tell us about it?
So National Leadership Program, it's something that started off as International Leadership Program, and then they started the National Leadership Program from I think 2 years back. This is the third batch. I've been trying for International Leadership Program and YLP and ILP and NLP for the last couple of years, but only this time I got selected. So the objective was pretty simple. For me, this is not a program. For me, this is pretty much like a postgraduate degree, a 1 year postgraduate degree. In fact, I've already told Swami that I'm going to play my 100%. I mean, of course, right now there are the sessions that are going on are pretty much like the Dhyana Vahini sessions and all. But when the actual modules start, I'm going to play my 100% because they we'll be learning tools which mostly in a step-by-step manner. So first is tools for self-mastery, goal settings, time management, focus and concentration, public speaking, slowly moving towards collaborative approach for the corporates, project management, the different forms of organizational behavior. So I told Swami that I'm going to play my 100%. I'm going to give everything to master this, so that at the end of the year, when I get that certificate, I feel validated from you that, and this, in fact, this will be my first ever certificate from Swami. I had this regret that I never got the opportunity to study Balvikas, although I did become an assistant guru, assisting my mom, but I felt that I didn't deserve to be one because I never really attended Balvikas in the first place. But this degree, this whole experience is going to not only give me that opportunity, but pave the way for something much bigger in store. The experience so far has been, to be very honest, a little boring because again, I'm not a very big fan of online sessions. In fact, right now in this session itself, as Swami directed me, I'm keeping my phone right next to my laptop with the video on, so that at least in the NLP session, like a very famous personality sharing his stories, which I don't feel that it's necessary to attend live because anyways it's going to be uploaded in YouTube. So uh, again, I'm very excited for the modules, the actual sessions when it's going to start. So far, it's been boring, but it's going to be super exciting. One very important thing about National Leadership Program, what I felt was phenomenal, was that it is giving us the freedom to serve the way we want. So I chose, for example, 3 projects, and I will be starting those 3 projects definitely by the end of the year. By September, we are supposed to start off those projects, and the 3 projects are. And you see, that's how Swami makes you an instrument and does every single thing that he wants through you, if you are open. So the 3 seva activities, for example, the 3 projects which are actually seva activities that I felt while in one of the live sessions of Sanjay Mahalingam sir, I just noted it down nicely. First was a Sathya Sai mental health support group where people can just come and share their challenges that they're facing in day-to-day life. And I will be picking up pieces from the Vahinis, breaking it down, simplifying into actionable steps to solve those mental health issues. Now, because I'm in this field for the last 3 years after my graduation, and Swami's teachings are actually helping me so much. And again, I'm not going to be a preacher or anything. It's just being a postman. That's the first. Number two is the Vahini series. Again, I'm so grateful to you, Suman brother, for this. When I came to your house, I mean, Suman brother was very loving. Okay, after 3 long years, I came to his house. It just felt like as if it was yesterday. And he did scold me a little bit that, I was not, I tried to poke you, but you didn't respond. So I was also, but then he's like yeah, right now I want you to participate. So again, reading the Vahinis and sharing the same here. So the proper study circles, in-depth study circles discussions. That's the second thing, particularly for the youth. And number 3 is the skills. Creating a platform, which right now I'm in the process of building, which will be my website itself, where absolutely for free, I'm going to be teaching the youth the skills that has helped me, not knowing anything about English or Hindi, all the way right now to have this dream job, living a dream life, everything that I have learned in the form of skills, how to communicate, how to speak in English, how to crack an interview, how to build your resume, technical skills as well as soft skills. So these are the 3 projects which hopefully I'm hoping that Swami is going to guide me step by step to really create it. And this is going to be a revolution for sure. Something that I mean, Swami had mentioned in Vidya Vahini that he wants to build an ecosystem where everybody is getting all forms of education for free. So to be able to do that, I think through the NLP, I mean, it's really life changing.
So if you were not a Sai devotee, so how you would imagine your life to be?
This I'm a little scared uh, to answer this question very honestly, brother, because
Even to imagine, you are
before,
scared, I think.
yeah, oh my God, it's so very uh, very dangerous, very dangerous. So what happened was, before I came to Swami's fold, brother, I was very rebellious, very abusive. In fact, in whether I would speak, I would only speak mostly in Bengali, but even in Hindi. That's why I never really try. I try to avoid Hindi as much as possible. Of course, now it's become better. I would be so abusive that between every two words there would be three, four abuses, and not just normal abuses. Very aggressive, superlative form of abuses. So now, even if I imagine, my God, I would be very revolting. I would be very abusive, and when I was a child, I remember my mom and dad used to beat me up. Of course, they all with the best interests to help me raise, but I always wanted to fight back. Now, only because I'm here in Swami's fold and I've been able to understand the reasons, the innate, deep-rooted reasons of whatever they did, I'm feeling love and compassion for them, and I've actually mended my relationship with them. Had I not been in Swami's fold, I don't know, I probably would have been in jail for killing them. And I say this with all humility and reverence, that we are not supposed to think, but that would have been the case. I was addicted to I was addicted to watching movies which are not supposed to be watched. No, adult content and all. I would still be addicted to it. And the worst of it. See, that is an act which I feel, chalo, we are doing it in privacy and stuff. The worst of it would be I would have still continued to play around with people's hearts. I had this whole thing of becoming a playboy of sorts, no, talking, because I knew uh, how to organize thoughts and speak it in such a way so that the other person can reciprocate. There was this point of time, I think 2013, 14, before, I mean, yeah, 2014, that year, while I just started attending bhajans, I had 26 girlfriends across 12 countries and talking to all of them at the same time. So I would still continue to do that, living a purposeless life, not having any proper direction, but just simply in that illusion that I'm being very happy. So that would be the scenario. And it's very ironical, brother, because when I look at the youth, let's just say my previous job, of course, now I've changed jobs. When I went to Noida and I would see my colleagues, they would all go out there in the weekend. They would all go and drink and smoke and loud shouting, screamings, and everything. Very triggered very easily emotionally. Something goes wrong and they're like so restless and stuff. So it just keeps getting worse until and unless we decide to actually get into the fold. And I'm not just talking about Swami's fold. I'm saying any form of a spiritual fold. The spiritual of it's not just spiritual for the sake of like God and all that. No, I mean, I'll tell you very honestly, I still consider myself as anti-religious. I hate religion. I hate all these rules and regulations and all that rituals that comes with it. It's just accepting the honest truth that we are not humans having a spiritual experience, rather spirits having a human experience. So the sooner we realize this, I think the better it is for everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, Surya. It's been wonderful evening. So I'm done with my questions. So now I ask our listeners if they have any questions or any thoughts to share with. Please go ahead. Sridhar sir, probably we can start with you.
Sai Ram.
Or anyone for that matter. Sai.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai.
Can I speak, please?
Yeah, please,
sure.
please. Akshat.
Akshat here. Yeah, Akshat here. Yes, Sai Ram. Surya, question to Suryadeep.
Yes, Akshat brother, Sai Ram, how are you?
Sai Ram,
After a
Sai
long
Ram,
time.
Sai Ram.
Yeah.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Yeah, yeah. Just, if you can throw some light on how, first of all, I mean, a little bit non-spiritual or whatever. And if you could answer my question, like, what is spirituality? I mean, according to you, and how do you like speak so well and so fluently and with that, confidence in English, and how that flow comes, maybe we just preparing before the session or this stuff, and just going through that, as you told, Swami takes us through it, and we keep on speaking. So how to just put it into practice? If you could share some of your thoughts.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
I'll answer your second question first and then the first one, brother. So in terms of preparation, I'll tell you, I never ever prepared for. I've actually stopped that practice. I never prepared for any Swami related speaking. I never prepared. I just prepare a set of bullet points. So let's just say when Suman brother in for this talk as well, he gave me a series of questions. I just read through the series of questions and I just prepared one or two bullet points. That's it. Just before the session, I sat down. Before getting into this flow state, I what I do is I just walk through the bullet points. So I just wrote 3 points to be honest, and then I just close my eyes and I just contemplate that I'm speaking absolutely fluently. And then I offered that whole intention to Swami at his lotus feet. I literally imagine that, or keeping my eyes closed, that I'm offering this whole intention at Swami's feet as a lotus. And then I know that he's going to take over. That faith is very, very important. Of course, in terms of fluency, I did do a lot of practice. So practice in terms of reading a lot of books. I don't just read Swami's Vahinis, I read all the non-fiction. Primarily non-fiction helps big time. I practice speaking in the form of podcast, YouTube video. In fact, I'll give you this tip. Okay, go to create your own YouTube channel in youtube.com. Download this app called uh, Anchor. Anchor, I think it's changed into a different name right now. Spotify, I think Spotify something podcast, something like that. It's the name has changed. And just speak whatever you want to speak on. Just speak over a video. I usually speak over Zoom. That's it. So I just speak to myself, speak into the camera. This I did for around 3 years. So the fluency by default will increase. If you don't want to post it to the world, that's absolutely fine. But it'll only help you better if you follow this practice. That's your second question. Your first question, spirituality, according to me, is the path to get to love myself the most. That's all. I'm saying this with all, I mean, I'll tell you, every human being on this planet will have their own definition of spirituality, and that's how it's supposed to be. Because spirituality is deeply internal, it's only individualized to you. So, what the way I look at it is, every single thing that I do that is helping me to know myself more, to love myself more, to understand myself more is spirituality. So, I hope I answered both the questions, brother.
Yes, brother. Sai Ram.
Yeah, Sridhar sir, you're about to say something.
Sai Ram, just loved hearing Surya after a long time. Great soul, I must say. Your searching questions, brilliant answers. All I can say is, as an elder, that you are moving in the right direction. Despite all the oddities which you have faced, the fact that you are on path is a very redeeming influence for the youth. That is my sincere feeling. Towards the end, you spoke about what if you are not part of, if you are not a Sai devotee, how you would have looked at and faced life. A catalog of being rebellious, abusive, aggressive, all kinds of things you said. And also addicted to watching movies which you should not and things like that. We don't know what happens to us. We are lost, we are not aware. And many in the youth do not know what is life outside their world. They believe partying, drinking, smoking, staying late, and eating all kind of food is all life all about. They become exhausted and they burn out very fast. And in the professional field, how could you expect them to excel? It cannot happen. The fact that you're doing very well in whatever you're doing well is because of that awareness and being stayed away. And thanks to great souls like Suman who advised you the right things at the right time, plus other mentors, it matters quite a lot. Yes, the essence of spirituality, as you summarized, is: are you happy? What makes you happy? Will the same thing make you happy always? How sustained it is will slowly crack and bring you into the line of discipline, what Swami's teaching is all about. Enjoyed every bit of the questions raised by Suman and the lovely answers full of life. God bless you. Sai Ram.
Thank you so much, Sir Sairam. I have to mention this here in front of everyone, and Swami, of course, is listening. There was this one very interesting question I had asked Sridhar Sir in one of, while we were doing that whole competition thing. I asked him, Sir, you are so successful. What would you tell me so that I can also achieve the same kind of success? And I remember Sridhar Sir telling me that, Surya, you are a very pure little child. Keep smiling always. And I'll tell you very honestly, I mean, I'm not sure what made Sridhar sir say this, but that continues to be my mantra up until this point. And in that NLP, when we were going through all these classes, there was this. Obviously, Swami speaks through the teachers over there, right? Professor Harishankar Bhatt sir was talking to us about Trikarana Shuddhi. And the only practice that he gave us was smile. And that's when I felt, wow, it all connects. Like all the dots are connected. Thank you so much, Sridhar sir.
Satish sir, you would like to ask anything or any thoughts on this? Sairam?
Yesterday evening, we were doing this Gita Vahini Satsang on chapters 16 and 17.
Okay.
And in one of the things simply is what Surya echoed today. There is no set formula. Swami says, please try for yourself and find out what works for you to expand your heart and pursue to do those things. Also find out what makes your mind restless and noisy, and simply avoid them. And you have to discover what works for you. You have to discover what does not work for you. And then Swami, inner Swami will always guide you. But the effort must come from each one of us, because what makes you happy? Question. Then you introspect, then see what works for you, and particularly avoid bad company, avoid things which will keep your mind distracted, and things like that. Two beautiful points which came out of the yesterday's discussion, and was echoed by you, Surya. It was very nice.
Thank you so much, sir. Sai.
Yes, please, sir. Someone has raised his hand.
Sharum, can I talk?
Yeah, please, please.
Brother, I have a question. It's like, what should we do when we have to take decisions that are conflict with our inner values while at work?
Okay.
It's like a day-to-day process for me. Not arises once in a month or so, but with every client, maximum time this happens.
Could
What to
you
do it?
tell us your name, please, if that's okay?
My name is Sai Gayatri.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So, ma'am, so when you tell about these kind of things we tell, which is not in congruence with our inner beliefs, can you give me an example a bit so that I can actually answer this better?
Okay. I'm a chartered accountant by profession, and when I have to file taxes, well, obviously it's like 20% cut if you give me this much of tax returns, or else I'm finding another person to file my taxes. So those kind of problems, sir.
Okay. So in this, what I can only tell you what works for me, what I personally practice. So in this, I always feel that even before we get into any form of a work, we need to sit down with our personal code of honor. You see, Swami has given us point code of conduct, uh, but what really happens is when when we are not really sure what is it that we resonate with, what is it we don't resonate with. So the first thing that you can try, ma'am, is you can take out a piece of paper and fold it into two halves. On one half, write down all the things that is an absolute non-negotiable for you. For example, the last job that I had, I left that job because there was a lot of talk and no action. Too much of talking, but no action. I didn't connect with it. And I left it because I was not resonating with the foundation principles, the code of honor. And that's one of my principles. One of my personal principles is integrity. My personal principles includes gratitude, celebration. So I know all about it because I was able to sit down and write down. So I would really suggest that that's the first step that you do. What is working, what is non-negotiable for you? What are the things that are negotiable for you? Now, there are certain job profiles where we have to do something which we know we are not supposed to. For example, as me, when I was a dentist, at times we would give a painkiller knowing that we are not supposed to, but just because our teacher has told us we are supposed to, we have to do it. So in that case, you have to try. I mean, what I did is I went away from that field, you see. Or even if I'm in that field, I try to find out ways in which I can stay congruent with my principles and my code of honor. And that is again something that I know I can be crystal clear. When I go to sleep in the night, I know I'll be peaceful. And if in your workspace, let's just say right now you're a chartered accountant, in your workplace, let's just say you are having a firm, right? You're working in a firm. Maybe you are now, the moment you work in a corporate, you, whether you like it or not, you are bound to the code of honor of that company. So what I will do is, because I have the skill, right? Chartered accountancy, you know all there is to know about accounts. You are the only one who will be helping people in the whole process of managing their money. So you can actually create a side hustle, keeping your code of honor absolutely intact over there. You can create a very, very short firm. Maybe you might not have too many clients, but you can actually start. And then soon you will realize, because this is giving you that whole satisfaction, the soul satisfaction, SOUL as well as SOLE. You will soon realize that it's starting to pay you more money. It's going to continue to grow bigger and bigger, and very politely you can actually leave that place. Now I'm just giving you exactly what I did. Now you can take whatever works for you, ma'am, and accordingly you can go ahead. But yeah, being congruent that paper exercise, I'm sure it's going to work wonders. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you so much, Sai Ram. Really, it was helpful. I mean, really, the painkiller, I think, yes, I have got something that I can work on with. Thank you so much, brother.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Sridhar sir, anything you need to say? Because it's
Yes,
your domain
yes.
also. Yeah.
I know you're going to ask. Silent Gayatri. I am also a CA, an old man. I have gone through the rigors what you are going through. I happened to be in one spiritual session where the concerned guru was talking about ethics, values, and all that. And I was young at the time, and I stood up and asked pointed question. Hey, you can say all this sitting here comfortably. Come and work with me, you will know. My profession is such where these things are happening. What should I do? First, I will tell you what all he said. Then I will give you my experiences too. Firstly, he said, measure yourself in a scale of 1 to 10. That which you are not in harmony with, but you are forced to do or whatever you would want to express. Slowly try to move up in the scale. Suppose you are doing, in terms of ethics, you are only 3 or 4 in a scale of 10. Slowly change yourself, dare doing whatever you can, and move yourself. But we must try. Your experience is yours. What works for you does not work for others. So you have to try yourself. And while doing that, you need to have a lot of bhakti in terms of trust in Swami. I took that very, very seriously. I can assure you that at least in the last 20-25 years of my practice, I have not indulged in any unethical transaction at all. People are scared of me when they come in front of me. They have to speak truth. They have no choice. When they look at me, they vomit everything. That kind of synergy and power Swami gives, if only you trust the Antaryami Sai and just do what is right. If you think the economic pressure, you lose a client, you lose an opportunity, you lose a career, which means you lack faith. The lack of faith comes from fear. Okay, the fear of losing. When Swami is with you, you lose nothing. Dare to be straight, upright, and dare to lose. In losing, you will win. This is my deep experience. As Surya said, the kind of value success you get, when you hit the pillow, you will sleep. You will never have pressures on the mind, and you will do every work on your terms. That is the most blissful experience of being happy. So ethics is personal. You have to evolve, and it is not that by hearsay or what others do or not do. You are answerable to your conscience, to your inner harmony. If you can maintain the thought, word, and deed synchronization, Vikarna Shuddhi, I'm sure you will learn on your own. No one need to help you on this. Sai Ram.
Thank you so much, Sai Ram. It was really helpful. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Srikanta sir, Satish sir, anything you would like to share or any questions you have?
Sai Ram.
Yeah.
Sai Ram, I do not have any question in particular, but I happy listening to Brother Surya, because we were meeting in SG during bhajan practice sessions. I remember his smiling face and beautiful singing and his participation in Akhand Bhajan and Bhakti Bhavanandam. I just remembered his, so I was very eager to listen to him. Very nice, very happy to listen to his wonderful experiences. Swami Impress, Sai Ram.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Nothing to ask. Very well. Thank you so much for the very
Yes,
nice
sir.
session.
Satish, sir. Yeah, tell.
Thank you so much for the very nice session. Actually, I joined late, but it was very intuitive and very nice. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sign up.
So,
Sai Ram.
anything else you would like to say? Yeah, Akshat, do you have any question?
Yeah, small this thing. Sridhar sir can also answer. Sridhar, if he's there, yeah. Like small things, I'm just asking in life, how to take the better decisions, and we get confused at certain times, what to do, what not to do, and get a little bit panicky in the. So how to come out of those situations and how to deal with that, and uh, create less of that mental confusion, and just go for the right thing. So what to do in that case? Scenario and that position, what to do. Thank you. Sairam.
I didn't get the question.
How to, he says,
Yes, Suman, you were
get
saying
more
something.
clarity. Hello. Yeah. How to take firm decisions and how to
Correct.
get avoided
Correct,
by
yes.
this kind of minds, what do you say, the wavering to reduce.
Yeah,
Most
correct.
of the times,
Wavelength. Yes.
because today's youth have a lot of distractions, and for simple decisions they take a lot of time, even simplest decisions also I've even heard. So how to reduce that, how to be firm in a decision?
Being indecisive means what? Not able to choose, not able to decide, not able to firm up. This happens because you do not have clarity of mind. When does clarity of mind come? When your thoughts are simple. Of course, you need the skill and knowledge in the line where you're working, but your thoughts have to be simple, not laced with envy, jealousy, or that rat race corporate style of thinking. And that faith that Swami will prompt you many a times, as Surya was saying, I keep small synoptic points, but I speak extempore. That's because the inner Swami prompts him as he speaks. That's the way the faith works. So if you are strongly anchored to the Almighty, I'm sure you will be able to decide quickly. You are scared about results. You have the fear of outcome. Simply don't bother. Come what
Yes.
may. I face
Yes.
the situation. I leave it
Yes.
to him. If it is going to misfire, that is also his will. So be
Yes.
it. I accept it. The concept of accepting everything is okay, and then that fear is gone. When the fear is gone, you are relaxed. When you are relaxed, Swami speaks to you and you are able to hear that prompting, that whisper, what he was talking about. All this happens because of that clarity. The clarity can come only when you destroy fear. You can destroy fear only when you have faith. And your thoughts must be simple, not laced with envy, jealousy, and things like that. If there are none of those inner enemies, but you are a simple, innocent person, whatever you decide, whether it works or not, it is his problem. Our job is to decide and do our work. Sairam.
Thank you, Sairam. Yeah.
There are many more thoughts or questions? Surya, finally, anything you would like to say before we close this session?
Yeah, I think this one last thing that again is, as I was contemplating again what Sridhar sir said, is just this whole process of being ourselves. And let us always keep that in mind every single moment. Everybody is different, everybody is unique, everybody is special. While we will get a lot of advice, suggestions, guidance, observations, advice, like everything included, it's amazing to take it all, but let's just continue to love ourselves enough. There's these two practices that I always do every single day. One is just before turning on the shower, when I take bath, I wrap my arms around myself for close to a minute and a half, and I just feel me loving myself the most. It's like giving myself that big warm hug. And number two is after I'm finishing with my bath, while I'm looking at the mirror and combing my hair, I try to touch the corners of my lips all the way to my ears. And that, I'll tell you, it's a very, very crazy exercise. You'll feel like, seriously, am I mad to do this? But you will feel so amazing. Like this, I do it for around 30 seconds. That's it. After that, the mouth, the muscles start hurting. But you will start feeling the feelings of love and happiness and all. So you can try it out and just continue to be yourself. Thank you so much, brothers, for the opportunity. Thank you to Swami Sai.
Thank you, brother. It's been wonderful, heartful experiences. So we'd like to listen more and more as we go, in satsangs, especially in Vahinis also. So about the joy that you have experienced and your insights, basically. So I'm expecting more and more of your participation in my future sessions also.
Sure, brother.
So with this
Absolutely.
thank you. With this, we close today's session with Asatoma. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti 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 Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय. Thank you all. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you. Nice.
Sai Ram, everyone. Thank you so much.
Sai Ram. Thank you, Surya brother. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you so much.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram.